Hi friends, welcome back to part 5 of the Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers 5.5 MSQ playthrough with me, Damagen. It's been an interesting journey so far. I think this is the last quest of the patch. I think the 6 MSQ. When the dust settles, Alphino is minded to share his account of the events that unfolded in Pagalthan with the Sultana. Standing around here worrying is not going to help matters. Come, we must discuss the day's events with Pippin and her grace. Brave scions! Oh. Would that I would treat you to a hero's welcome, but I bear urgent news from the frontistery. Your Grace, whatever is the matter? As our troops withdrew from Pagalthan, they came upon the 2 scouts sent to the nearby tower. I have yet to hear a full account, but it seems that one of them, your friend, I believe, had been wounded, and was being dragged away by the other. I'm involved. No! Oh no. I must go. Forgive me, Your Grace. No! I shall not forgive you. Off with his head. If only. Can you tell us aught of Arenvold's condition, Your Grace? The wounded scout? Naught save that it is grave. The chirurgeons tend to him even as we speak. Told ya. Bait and switch? The infirmary must be inundated with wounded. If all of us go, we'll only get underfoot. Demacian, Estinian, would you mind going after Alphino? You may need some support from someone other than me. Nod. Is this where Alphino will be unable to save him? Thus prompting his journey of job changing. Very well. Thank you. The rest of us will see that the relevant people know what took place in Pagalthan. Because I'm useless in a diplomatic situation. And in game too. Well, come on then. Can't get over how much nicer it is. How much of a difference that makes. It's such a tiny thing, but it's bugged me for years. How low resolution. Where is the frontistery? Is that the Alchemist's Guild? Yes. That's not the sprint button, is it? Why has Chenlin's got a quest? Oh, because I haven't done the level 80 paladin stuff. Oops. That's not the right way. Where am I going? Is it down here? No. Up here and left. Yeah, I haven't done the level 80 job quests for most of the jobs. I keep walking past the Red Mage one. Estinian, stop showing off your leaning. I take it as Alphino is fond of Arenvold. I know how he feels. The hand-wringing isn't going to help anyone. You'd better have a word. Badola. Instead of standing there gawping, why don't you tell your friend to stop whining like an underfed dog? People are fighting for their lives in there. Where is he? There he is. Please, tell me something, anything. Another one come to see the lad in silver armour. Master Demelio is attending to him as we speak, if you be so kind as to wait. But what did Master Demelio say? Tell me his exact words. Enough, Alphino. This isn't helping. But, you're right, forgive me. When we said our farewells to Arenville, I was afraid that something like this might happen, but now that it has, all we can do is wait. He'll be okay. They tend to get it over with if they're faster deaths. Well, no, I suppose they could come out and crush Alphino's hopes and dreams now.
Have you been waiting here all this time?
We have done what we can. The rest is up to him.
May we see him?
Nope.
I do not think that wise. You must let him sleep.
Ah, he's not in a good state then.
Thank you for bringing him back. He owes you his life. I just wish I had been there. Perhaps, I don't know. Perhaps I could have...
Could have what? Got tempered? Don't flatter yourself. You can't save everyone. No one can. Not even the warrior of bloody light. People die all the time, for no good reason. And those who take up the sword die quicker than most. If you're going to shed a tear every time a soldier falls on the battlefield, you'd best stay away. It's no place for the weak of heart.
It's different when it's your friend, though.
It may be that victory cannot be won without cost. But all life is precious, and I refuse to shrug at its loss.
All life is precious! Oh, you need to grow up, little man. Before your sparkling ideals get everyone killed.
You're right. He is idealistic. But the world has more than its fair share of realists, like you and me. It's people like him who dare to dream that things could be better, and make it happen against all the odds. They are the ones whose names live on forever. The heroes.
The battlefield's littered with would-be heroes. At this rate, you'll lot be next.
She's worried about losing more people.
And what'll become of your precious dreams then?
She just doesn't want to admit it.
They'll be gone. Like dust on the wind.
Dreams worth fighting for don't die so easily.
It's almost like she's got a glimmer of a redemption, a glimpse of it, and she realizes how fragile that possibility is. Estinian also is correct, of course. That's the thing about idealists. Their dreams, their revolutions, they don't die so easily. what we are as the Warrior of Light? We tend to be quite realistic and pragmatic, don't we? And a bit jokey at times. I know. There's nothing more I can do here. Come, let us rejoin the others. Ahem. Grace invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to join her in the fragrant chamber. Your comrades have already arrived. Will the three of you be joining them? 1, 2. I know he means Estinian as well. Estinian does a lot of leaning. Shrug. We understand. I feel like the more Dark Knight quests you do as well, the more you really understand the mindset of the Warrior of Light / Darkness.
Your Grace, pray forgive us our lateness.
No, Alpha, no. Execution.
Think not of that. I understand a close comrade of yours was wounded in the line of duty. Arenvold. It was at the Alliance's behest that he risked all, and we are grieved to hear of his condition. Rest assured, he will receive the finest care our chirurgeons can provide. On that you have my word.
It's an odd word, chirurgeons. It's so old-fashioned.
Now, we would share with you the findings of the mission.
Oh, and it fits the high fantasy aesthetic perfectly.
Pippin, pray relate to our guests the details of Fordola's account.
With your lovely hair. And this is just recounting the stuff that we already saw, isn't it? Yeah.
First Bahamut, now Ifrit. Or Lunar Ifrit, as Fan Daniel would
And me.
doubtless have it.
Fan Demagen.
'Tis now all but certain that the towers were conceived to facilitate the summoning of primals by those imprisoned within.
Oh, yeah.
Less certain is the means by which the Telophoroi constrain the wills of said entities to enact their designs in defiance of the pleas of their victims.
Yes.
Mayhap they do not. If mere proximity to the towers is enough to make loyal servants of the Empire's mortal enemies, it stands to reason that the same is true for those held captive.
So by what power? Are they giant mind control beacons?
They invoke their gods for the good of Garlemald, and in their disturbed state of mind, summon a primal whose form reflects their own alteration.
Affected by the
It
moon.
all begins to make sense. Upon closer inspection, I realized that the towers bear a striking resemblance to a much larger structure which Urianger and I observed from afar during our visit to the Imperial capital.
That big-ass building in the middle.
Assuming it too is capable of tempering those in its immediate vicinity, it would go some way to explain the swiftness with which the Telophoroi managed to rally so many Imperials to their cause.
This is not
While
good.
the situation in Garlemald is indeed troubling, I fear we have more immediate concerns.
Do we?
Ifrit was not the only primal summoned. At approximately the same time, observers at several other towers bore witness to the emergence of further such entities.
Oh. Ravana being one of them.
For a blessing, none appear to wield aught approaching the destructive power of Bahamut. and the Grand Companies are
good.
moving to deal with the threat even as we speak.
You need only tell me where they are, Your Grace. Knew it.
Though we are aware that the task will not be easy, we would call upon the Scions only as a last resort. Pray, conserve your strength for now.
Well, who are you going to send in otherwise?
After all, it was not so very long ago that you rid us of Bahamut. On which note, I am pleased to report that our talks with the Amalja have reached an agreeable conclusion. They have pledged their full support to our cause. It is our hope that this historic agreement will encourage other tribes to join us at the negotiating table. And I know that I speak for all of the Allied leaders when I say that we will welcome them with open arms at such time as they do.
Peace in our time.
Of course, this was only made possible by the feats of heroism performed at Paglfan. Moreover, we shall not allow the sacrifices of those fallen in battle to have been made in vain. As hope leads to victory, shall victory lead to a new dawn for
Dark before
Eorzea.
the dawn. Paglfan still makes me think of Peggle.
May these words ever be our guide, Your Grace.
Snarky cat, snarky cat.
Now, if you will forgive me, I must consult with the Syndicate on the matter of our new allies' integration. Till next we meet, my friends, I bid you safe travels and blessed respite.
Cheers, Nanamo. Well, Nanamo, no. Waddle, waddle. Just kind of imagine their shoes going as they walk away, because I'm a terrible person. Right, who's got what to say? Amidst this great push for peace with the beast tribes, we would do well to remember that old prejudices yet remain. It is a delicate political dance, and I do not envy the Sultana her task, nor any alliance leader. Alphinaud knows only too well that sacrifices are an unavoidable part of conflicts. But knowing something does not change how one feels about it. You yourself have shared adventures with Arenvald, have you not? Then I shall say no more. With the secrets of the towers thus laid bare, our duty to prevent further abductions taketh on new import. Failing this, and our enemy shall punish our negligence with a plague of primals. Plague on both your houses! They have made worm's meat of me. Even without the even without the threat of tempering to contend with, the Grand Companies have quite a task on their hands. Regardless of Her Grace's protestations to the contrary, it may be best to dispatch a few of our own to assist in the endeavour. Remind me to mention it to Taro, would you? Now we have won our first battle against the Telophori and made significant discoveries to boot. The war has scarcely begun. We must steel ourselves for what lies beyond. It was beyond. No, it was ahead. Right then. Unless anyone has any objections, I think it's about time we pray return to the Rising Stones. Nod. Alphinaud is, of course, going to stay here with Arenvald. No. And that includes you, Alphinaud. Arenvald is in good hands here. Of course. He would doubtless mock me for pacing about the infirmary. Let's retire then. We might. I am tired, and that is my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let us retire then, that we might regain our strength in readiness for the coming challenges. If all are in agreement, then I shall let Kryl know to expect us. A hot bath and a hearty meal shouldn't be beyond arranging with the time available. But wait. Oh no. I was expecting some tragedy. It will be good to be home. I have some thinking to do. The seeds of doubt have been sowed in Alphino. Yes, I'll try asking him. And thank you, I shall look forward to it. Yeah, I think this, watching his friend get hurt, I assume this is what is going to spur Alphino into changing healer class. Job. You know what I mean. Our comrades eagerly await our return, and Kral in particular has a few matters she is keen to discuss, one of which concerns you, Estinian, believe it or not. You will join us, won't you? Fine. Really? I thought you said you were avoiding that Baldessian woman. If I refused, she would only pursue me. Let's get this over with, shall we? This is just where we're going to ask him to join the trust system, isn't it? Pray return to the Rising Stones. Ow. Just cracked my finger off the microphone stand. Yeah, you can definitely tell that it's been AI upscaled, but they've done a reasonable job of it. Oh, straight into a cutscene.
Welcome back. I expect you must all be exhausted. Ere you take your rest, however, I would beg a moment of your time.
Oh. Nod.
Thanks to Arenvold's selfless efforts, we may now be confident that we understand the function of the towers.
Mm-hmm.
But many questions remain
There's a lot
regarding
of
the
them.
reason for the summonings and what lurks behind the looming edifice in Garlemald.
I assume there's more than... Is there a tower for each beast tribe, or are there more than that?
Until such questions are answered, we will struggle to devise an effective strategy for thwarting the Telophoroi's stated aim. Nothing less than the destruction of
This is where the
star.
sages are going to be coming in.
And so, given the gravity of the situation, I move that we petition the aid of Sharlayan.
It is possible the ancient knowledge preserved within their archives may hide a clue to our enemy's methods. But given Sharlayan's established policy of non-intervention, our former colleagues are not like to aid us in its discovery.
Oh, I well remember what they're like. The Forum's barefaced refusal to assist you in the days prior to the calamity must rank as Sharlayan's most shameful act since the Exodus. But were the final days to be reenacted, it would spell doom for us all. Surely even they cannot turn a blind eye to that.
Yeah, there's no point having a non-intervention policy if it gets everybody in the world killed.
I trust we are all of the same mind on this matter. Urgent as it seemed, I took the liberty of petitioning the Alliance for leave to act as Eorzea's emissary, and have since received their blessing.
Oh, good. Well done, Farl.
I presume your role as a student of Baldessian will carry some weight with the Forum?
I've just noticed that Kryl has cat eyes. She always had cat eyes.
One can but hope. If truth be told, our organization has been a shadow of its former self ever since the disappearance of the Isle of Val. But the name does still retain some degree of prestige.
That's gone to
I only pray it
Eureka.
will be enough. If there are no objections, I shall depart for Sharlayan at once. But before I do, I should also mention the other matter to which I would devote some time during my stay.
Alphino.
After hearing what transpired in the first, I began to question the true nature of Hydaelyn's blessing.
Oh, the Echo?
A topic I have discussed at some length with Y'shtola.
We were wondering, when was the last time Hydaelyn spoke to you directly?
During Heaven's Ward? It wasn't that day in the Crystarium. That she was speaking to everybody.
When you
then.
regained her blessing, was it not? But never since. Not in all your time in the first, when you faced the Unsundered, the very heart of Zodiark.
History shows us that Hydaelyn is able to awaken the Echo in her Chosen, convey her will directly, and grant the blessing of light. To our knowledge, however, she has not sought to intervene in man's affairs for some considerable time.
Huh. Good point.
Might not the explanation for that lie with her choice of champion? Mayhap she is content to trust in her judgment.
Maybe she doesn't have a choice. Maybe she's not strong enough anymore.
Mayhap she is. But following my initial discussion with Kryl, I made inquiries of my own, and as far as I am able to tell, Hydaelyn has not made her will known to anyone.
During my time in the First, the Oracle of Light spoke to me through Reem. But that was not the will of Hydaelyn. It was Minfilia herself.
Indeed, and while she and Hydaelyn were inextricably linked, Minfilia yet acted of her own volition. A messenger, yes, but one who spoke with her own voice.
I wonder, could Hydaelyn's silence suggest the presence of some disruptive force, perhaps? Some obstacle to communication? While I share Urianger's high opinion of your conduct, I see no reason why she would deny you her guidance altogether.
It's a good point. I'd not even thought of it.
Then again, who am I to say? The fact is, we simply don't know. But if the explanation is to be found anywhere, I can think of worse places to look than the archives of Sharlayan, and their research on the Ethereal Sea in particular.
Yeah. So either Hydaelyn is too weak. Because the Ascians have implied that she is a parasite. We know it's not true, but she has been sustained, but her power has been dwindling for a long time now. Because unlike the Ascians and Zodiark, there's none of that kind of feeding of power going on. And of course, Hydaelyn is light, so she is passivity. As opposed to Zodiark, who is chaotic. If I'm remembering my etherology stuff from Urianger, he'd be very disappointed in me as a student. Oops. Take Alphino with you.
Resolved though I am to go, believe me when I say that I take no pleasure in the thought of leaving you a member short. Now, of all times. Estinian, we stand on the eve of a struggle that will decide the fate of this star.
Will you join us?
One in which we Scions may play a telling part, yet we are but few in number. And so I must ask you again. Will you join us?
No. Oh, sad-faced Alphina.
You see the world the way you want it to be. I see the world the way it is. You are idealistic to a fault.
Aren't we all?
But I know you would never turn your back on those in need. Never close your eyes to their suffering. And somehow, your deeds lend truth to your words, giving the lie to my doubts in so doing.
I thought Estinian used to speak smoother.
I have seen others draw strength from your belief. In Ishgard, in Alamigo, you inspired them to stand up and fight. To win, no less. And even when
I
you
suppose
lost
he's going for the
those you
gruff,
held dear,
Cain-like.
you carried their spirit with you and made their memory your guiding light. The burden of so many hopes and dreams would be too heavy for most to bear. But you bear it willingly,
Oh,
as you have shown me. Some dreams are too important to let go. If you have need of my strength, it's yours. After all you've done, how could I refuse?
you unlocked Estinian. That might ruin the moment.
Thank you, Estinian. Whatever challenges await us, I shall not falter. You have my word.
Hmm.
And now, I may bid you farewell. Safe in the knowledge that all is as it should be. In this little corner of the world, at least.
Meanwhile, in Golemold,
You will be sorely missed. Tread warily in Sharlayan, and do try not to let the Forum embroil you in their politics. A forlorn hope, I know, given the individuals involved.
I shall do my very best. Farewell.
hi, Quail. Tata-woo, waving goodbye. Well. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. Called it. Ah, yes, the weapon choosing scene. That is a lot of weapons. Spears and blades and katanas.
Well,
It's been Daniel doing that for everyone.
apparently not. Or could it be that you're still upset about the dragons?
You are unwise to remind me of so costly a failure.
He looks so much thinner without his silly armor on.
It will not affect our plans, I trust.
Nah.
Oh,
That's
hardly at all.
swagger. Motion
Though,
capture swagger.
Admittedly, the chances of us being able to procure any more Mericidian dragons are rather slimmer following Tiamat's reappearance.
It's interesting that his robe is
But
now purple.
seeds have been sown, my lord. We have only to wait for them to quicken.
In fact, he's just got a brand new outfit, hasn't he?
Speaking of preparations, is it safe to assume that you will be ready to control you-know-what?
The hour draws nigh. This nation forged for Ascian ends, will finally prove its worth.
I tell you what, whilst I may have always found Xenos to be a little bit of a dull and uninspired villain, there is no denying that the voice actor for him absolutely loves the role. He does such a good job.
A mighty empire, now no more than an instrument of this star's destruction. What a pleasure it will be to put it to use.
That's a one-handed sword, isn't it?
Which brings me back to our earlier topic. My lord, while I appreciate that it is not an easy decision, it really is past time you chose your weapon.
How small is he compared to Xenos?
There is one that I have been meaning to test.
Oh?
Well, well, not quite what I was expecting, though I will say, it does seem rather apt.
And we're not going to show you. Because we're bastards, and we want to save the reveal for later. Oh, it's a scythe, isn't it? Amidst all the fighting, it's easy to forget what we've achieved, isn't it? I mean, we cured Tiamat. Tiamat, for heaven's sake. You will tell me if I become insufferably smug, won't you? Because the way things are going, it feels like a definite possibility. And the sudden appearance of the towers will surely not have escaped the Forum's notice. I'd like to think they would be receptive to Krall's request for cooperation in investigating the matter, but unfortunately, their reputation would suggest otherwise. None can deny that Hydaelyn's blessing has been a great boon to our cause, but much remains unknown with regard to her true intentions. Given everything we've learned from our encounters with the Ascians, we must keep our minds open to any and all possibilities. It strikes me as odd that rather than marching on one of the city-states, the Telophoroi have so far made only sporadic attacks. I doubt they'd go to the trouble of putting up all those towers if that was all they had in store for us. Is it going to be like a central Garlemald shooting out energy across the world to the different towers type of situation? If I am to pursue this course, I must be prepared for the hardships that lie ahead. If you've need of my lands, I'll be ready. If not, I'll be reserving my strength in preparation of the next battle. But since you're here, I have a question. The Scions were in close contact with the East Aldenard Trading Company of Kagana, yes? I was wondering if they could place an order for some sun-dried squid. I don't seem to be able to find it in these parts. What? Really? That's got to be a reference to something that I've forgotten. Though we know not the full extent of the Telophoroi schemes, preventing further abductions must take precedence above all else, for therein lieth the key to depriving our enemy of its most potent weapon. What have you guys got anything to say? I've been keeping a good eye on the towers and telling others to do the same. Of course, I don't mean just a science. I've got a whole network of scouts to keep me informed. Alistair has been teaching me how to cure tempering using epoxy. I must say the thought of being in such close proximity to one of its afflicted is rather daunting. We've sent Coulter and the others to be our eyes and ears in the field. Wherever the Telophoroi appear next, we'll be among the first to know. Though Arnvold and I both serve as Scions, I'm afraid that I've had few opportunities to speak with the lad. I do hope he is fit to return to active duty soon. When the tower rose up in Yangsha, my first thought was to stay in Doma to keep my grandfather safe, but when we heard the news of Bahamut's return, he bid me return to the Rising Stones to aid my fellow Scions. He sends his regards, by the way. Orby Boulder certainly cut a fine figure as he set off on his latest mission. I was sad to see him leave, and my nights will be lonelier with just the one brother to keep me company. Oh? I don't talk to these guys as often as I probably should. Well, it looks like I'm going to have a few busy moons. Not that they ever seem to be anything but. Thancred's got me dispatching troops for every corner of the realm, which is not to say I don't trust the Alliance, because I do. When it comes to putting down primals, nobody does it better than us. Well, You lot, more accurately. You won't catch me trading blows for the Primal in the near future. For every fell fiend you vanquish, there's countless meals to arrange, baths to fill, sheets to wash, stores to replenish, and the list goes on. Which is where I come in, and gladly, mind you, it's the least I can do to support the science of his life and limb. Like poor Arenvold. I wish there was something we could do for him. But we'll just have to settle for saying the odd prayer and keeping a roof over our heads. Wouldn't do to have him come back to a complete shambles now, would it? But that's enough of my rambling. Off you go and get some rest. If there are any developments, I promise you'll be the first to know. Not the norms. And that is to end of 5.5 part 1. Because, of course, there is another part. I can't remember how they did it for the end of Stormblood. Was it 5.5 and then 5.55? Was it 5.5 and then 5.6 that they split the story over? I can't remember if they've got a consistent naming scheme for how they do it yet. I think it was 5.5, wasn't it? So we're going to have to wait 3 months, probably, for the second half of the story. Maybe. I wonder what that was then that I was glowing with. It's the thing behind me. We've got a live letter coming up with, I'm assuming, no, not a live letter, the online fan fest thing. So I assume we'll get a release date then. But yeah, got some intriguing active questions raised. Let's recap. So Quell's gone to Charlian, which is clearly going to fuel Alphino's journey to becoming a sage. I think a couple of people have mentioned that his father might have something to do with that. We've got what's happened to Arenvold and Fordola. We have got Ishtola's questions about the true nature of Hydaelyn and why why Hydaelyn's not spoken to us, which was an interesting one because I just hadn't thought that it has been so long. We've got obviously what weapons Xenos choosing. We've got what is this main structure in Garlemald for? How's that going to interact? Yeah, you know, Van Daniel's saying, you know what? I assume he's talking about the tower. How the moon's going to tie it into it all? I assume we'll find that out before 6.0. Maybe we won't. Yeah. Got some good active questions there. Hopefully, you have enjoyed, once again, departing on this journey of discovery and rampant crazy speculation, as my want is. I've got the near stuff to do next. I'm not going to do that today, though, because I am very much too tired, I've realised, to carry on. And it is almost 3 in the afternoon now, so I've been recording for a good 4 hours. Really enjoyed that story. Great deal. The dungeon was good as well. Love the music. I might do another one of those dungeons just before I go and have a little bit of a nap. Yeah, I want to listen to that music again. Soken, I am easily and always entertained by your musical choices. So we are done for the day, folks. Have yourselves a wonderful evening. Stay safe out there, and I will catch you back here next time for whatever absolute bizarre craziness Yoko Taro has come up with for the Tower at Paradigm's Breach, which is going to be probably quite embarrassing for me because I won't get any of the references to Auto Tomato or Replicant or Drakengard or whatever else they've thrown in. I might get near Replicant. It's out the 23rd of April, isn't it? So it's not even that far away. It's what, just over a week? Oh, no, I'm not going to have time to play it though. The end of this week, it's back to work, and then it's exam season. So I'm going to be doing a lot of fun marking. Yay. I say the beginning of next week. God knows when this video will be coming out. It's the 13th date, patch day. So, yeah. Starting on the 19th, I think it is, next week. Fun times! I'm rambling! Until next time, take care. Hope you've enjoyed the story. Hope you are enjoying the story. Let me know if there's anything I missed speculation-wise, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.